atheist brother coming at you. I'm probably making this video for a Christian like Amazing Libertarian. Hopefully he will make a video response to this. I'm not really sure what his views are on this, but I'm going to try and make my argument here. Now, for instance, Amazing Libertarian has concluded that hell, in the way the Bible describes it, that can't really exist because he thinks that we are determined. Now, the same reasoning for why hell cannot exist, because God's omniscient and if he destined us to go to hell, then he's evil. For the same reasoning, how can you say that people are going to heaven? Now, I'm making the broad assumption that these theists also believe that people are going to heaven. Not everyone's going to heaven. If everyone's going to heaven, then you absolved it. But if everyone's not going to heaven, then why? I mean, it just seems to follow that for the same reasons why people shouldn't go to hell, all people should also go to heaven. Because ultimately, all people were determined to do what they do, and because they did what they did, they ended up being a good or bad person. But ultimately, God determined what people were going to do, like pawns on a chessboard. The pawns are not guilty of what they do anymore. They're not guilty of what they did. It's the chess player who actually takes responsibility of what happened. They're just pawns. So why doesn't everyone go to heaven is my only question. I mean, it's the exact same reasoning can be reapplied. And the thing is, let's just say you actually do conclude that, okay, fine, everyone's going to heaven. What's the point of believing in heaven or Christ if everyone's going to heaven? It's kind of a little bit of a backwards Pascal's wager, basically saying that, you know, if you don't believe in heaven and Jesus, everything, you're not going to go to heaven. Well, if I'm going to go to heaven anyway, what's the point of believing in Jesus or heaven? I mean, if you're already going to go, what difference does it make? Believe in whatever you want. For instance, I obviously, okay, maybe not obviously, but I think I am pretty easily a decent person. You don't know me that well, but I definitely don't, you know, trip old ladies when they walk across the street, or I don't, you know, steal candy from babies. So, I mean, I'm a decent person. Obviously, I'm a decent person without, you know, objective morality and Jesus' teaching. I mean, the thing about Jesus' teaching is if it's right without Jesus. You know, if it's wrong to murder, it's wrong it's wrong even if Jesus had said murder was all right. It's still wrong. You don't need Jesus' teaching to be moral. It doesn't change anything. Though it might be right, it's not right because Jesus said it. It's only right because it's also simultaneously right with what actually exists in reality. It occasionally got things wrong, especially prophecies as far as I'm concerned. So the thing here is that you don't need Jesus to be a good person. Why should anyone be a Christian is my real question. I mean, if we're all going to heaven, if we don't need Jesus' teaching, if we don't need to accept Christ because we're all going to heaven anyway, what's the point of being a Christian? Is there any benefit? Is there any good reason to be? I mean, obviously, for instance, Amazing Libertarian thinks there's good evidence for Jesus' resurrection. That's one reason why he's a Christian rather than a deist. So be it. But from an angle of, you know, you're a better person because you're a Christian, it's not really there, is it? Is my contention, because we're not going to heaven. We're not going to hell. We are not any better for believing Jesus' teaching. I think only someone who really lacks morality and really can't understand people might need religion. And if you need religion to be moral, then, as Matt Dillahunty said, you need to go to church for the betterment of society. Because if you don't go to church, you're going to hurt someone, then go to damn church. And I completely agree. If you need church to be a good person, if you're a born-again Christian and the only thing that's keeping you out of jail is Jesus, then go to your church so we can still be a constructive society. So my conclusion is that, you know, there is no good reason to be a Christian besides evidence at this point. There's no good reason. Am I wrong? I know atheists would agree with me here, but I'm asking the Christians what they think. You know, if we're all going to heaven, then what's the point of believing in Jesus? I mean, I can't see it. It makes no sense to me. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope I actually get some responses for this, because I know I don't have too many Christian subscribers, but if you could respond to it, I'd really appreciate it. Whether it's comments or PMs or your responses, it's all good to me. All right, thanks.